Do you think that perhaps helps in some way?
I had time to prepare my career that a professional player didn't have. So if you jump direct from I was a great player to try to be a manager, I think you are not ready for.
Difficult.
You know, it's difficult. The same way you can study all your life, but if you don't have a strong connection with the world of football, you are not ready, because you go into that world and you can know a lot about all the science connected with football. You don't understand the game, you have no chance.
Football may be a universal language, but Bobby Robson needed a translator when he moved to Sporting Lisbon. It would be Jose Mourinho's first job in the professional game and the beginning of a successful partnership which lasted 5 years.
When Bobby Robson stepped off the plane from London to become coach at Sporting Lisbon, the little guy who greeted him said, "Hello, I'm Jose Mourinho."
Is possible?
He was initially employed as an interpreter. That's how he started working with players, really, and sort of got a grounding in the game.
I'm interested in.
He had an air of confidence about him. I think he was a bit nervous about meeting me. I mean, I detected that.
Is it true that you were Bobby's interpreter?
No, the truth is that I was his interpreter. I was his scout. I saw players. I saw teams. I was goalkeeper coach because we didn't have at that time. I helped in training sessions. I think I was everything. I gave him everything. Everything I had, I gave. So I think as a very nice person, he recognized my contribution to him.
Hey, Jamie. I couldn't have handled it, really, without him, in terms of speaking to the players, having a liaison with the players, having a liaison with the president. Never fell out with anybody, always respectful. He epitomised what I said to the players and how I felt about the game and the way the team played and what happened, what didn't happen. And he could transmit that very fluently and respectfully. He was super. I'm not going to go to Barcelona, am I? Ill-prepared, unless I know taking Jose is going to be an advantage to me and to Barcelona, and of course for himself it was wonderful.
Many years with Bobby. What did you learn most from him?
I learned a lot of things, you know, but the first thing I get from a person is the human being he is, you know, and I think it's difficult to find in football such a beautiful person like he is, and the way, of course, we are different, and I don't want to try to be copies of anybody, because copies are always worse than the original. But he was good in training, he was very enthusiastic. You know, Sir Bobby loves the pitch. He loves the pitch. So as an assistant, you work in other areas to support that, but not so much that direct relation with the coaching session.
Because Bobby always liked to take sessions.
Very studious, asked questions all the time, saw the players train, saw how we trained, saw what we did in training, learned, listened, looked, remembered, did all of those things. Look where he is now, absolutely fantastic.
He brought me from a low level to the highest level you can imagine. So as Bobby's assistant, I went from Sporting, Porto and Barcelona, and when I left Barcelona, I was ready to start my career.
That was your first period of a lot of success, because you know, a lot of trophies in both Portugal and of course Spain.
Yes, with Bobby it was fantastic. We won everything in the Portuguese competitions, 2 leagues and 1 cup, 2 Super Cups. We went to Barca. In Bobby's period, we were not champions, but we won Cup Winners' Cup and Spanish Cup, Spanish Super Cup.
After Bobby Robson was at Barcelona for 1 year, he moved upstairs. Now, normally in those circumstances, his staff can perhaps be moved away and moved outside, but you stay with Van Gaal. Was that a surprise, or?
The personalities are different, but I have to say that Van Gaal is also a beautiful person, you know. He's somebody with, I don't say 2 faces, a little bit like me. I think he's a little bit like me, you know.
In what sense?
In the sense where only people who knows him well knows who he is. Luis loves to analyze and gives you the complete control of the training session. So you become with him a coach on the pitch. So you coach players. So when I was 30, 32, something like 34, I don't remember that, but very, very young to be a manager, you have in your hands Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Figo, Stoichkov, and coach them.
Tough to teach them.
It was fantastic experience. And with them, I got something that still is very important in my methodology, is communication. Is to get feedbacks also from them, from the players. And Luis, I think I created with him a very, very strong relation. And it was very important also to give me confidence, you know. I always remember with him.
Have you ever lacked confidence?
No, but he told me things very important for my career. I never forget this. Benfica president called me and he say to me, you are in Barcelona, I want you in Benfica to assist you Paincas. I told to Luis, happened this. I received this phone call and I have this big chance to go home and to have a good situation for me. He told me, pick up the telephone and tell Benfica president, if he wants you to assist you Paincas, no. If he wants you to be the manager, I take you to the airport and you go. Because you are ready for that. No more assistant. When you leave me, is to be top manager. So I have a few memories of my relation with Luis, and it was very important for me.
When a call came from the biggest club in Portugal, Mourinho had to take it. Benfica were looking for a new boss and Jose was ready to take the step up as manager. When he eventually left Portugal, he'd won every title going, including the Champions League.
When I left Barcelona, I was completely focused on being
a number one.
Being a number one, you know.
Your first job was as a number one was Benfica,
yeah.
And that went a bit sour quite quickly, didn't it?
Oh, it was amazing because when I went to Benfica, was a period of election coming in 3 months' time.
For the president?
For the president, yeah.
Well, I met Jose Mourinho in Barcelona by chance, and I spoke with him. It was enough 5 minutes. After talking with him in 5 minutes, I said, well, this is a completely different man. This is a unique personality, and I said, well, he's the right man.
I went in October, and the elections in December. And the president couldn't give me a long-term contract because of that. He was saying it was not ethic, he can lose elections, and the new president comes, and I gave you a 5-year contract. I cannot do that, so you have to accept the short-term contract.
It was a big risk at the time because Benfica was in a sort of a process of elections, and even all my board resigned. But it was really difficult. The press was completely against and said a lot of silly things, said that Mourinho was only a translator.
He lost the elections. A new president arrived. So when he lost the elections, I knew at that time I have no chances because he has his own man. So I was succeeding. The results were very good. We just finished to beat Sporting in the derby. We beat them 3-0. And at that time I told the president, it's time for you to make a choice. Or with this kind of results, you give me the new contract and I can know I'm working for the future of the club. Or if you still stick with your first choice, I have to go. So people at that time couldn't believe such a young manager was leaving Benfica.
Yeah.
You know, because I left Benfica, you know.
And you went to a small club called
Leiria, yeah.
And maybe the first signs of the special one. You took them to the UEFA Cup, which was quite an achievement.
We took him to the third place. It was a very small club. At that time was not easy for me. For the first time, I left my wife and kids in Lisbon, not with me because it was not a good place to take them with me. I just there focused in, I have to succeed and I have to go back quick to my previous level. So I went there with my staff, just thinking about that, and I went to Brazil to find players